To talk a little bit about AI with you, and we're specifically talking today about how you can use AI for writing and research and critical evaluation, and how you can help your students if you choose to use AI in your courses, how you can help your students to also know about some of these tools and how they work and how they can use it for their own research writing and critical evaluation. So I'm Mike Barber. I am the Assistant Director at the Center for Teaching Excellence. And like I said, we're really excited to be here. My We'll wait just one more minute to see if a few more people are going to sign in, because 10:40 is a little bit of an odd time to start something. So if you will, you can log on to our page here with the links, and this is where you can sign in. If you'll copy this link and paste it in your browser, it'll take you to the sign-in page. So if you are interested in earning miles for attending today for our passport program at CTE, then you'll want to make sure that you sign in and indicate where you would like those miles to apply. And so we've got a really wide range of people here from lots of different areas at UF, and so I'm excited about that.
That's
So,
awesome. Yeah,
Jen,
as
why
you're
don't you introduce yourself to us and tell everybody a little bit about you?
well, good morning, everybody. I'm Jennifer Parker, and I am from the Center for Teaching Excellence. I've been there about almost 6 months here, and my background is in ed tech. So when they said let's do some AI stuff, I was all excited about it. So very excited to be here. I do faculty development in the Center for Teaching Excellence, and today we are really excited that you guys are going to join us, and we're going to go on a journey about research and writing and critical evaluation. One of the things that we've been putting in the chat box is we've got a notes document for you, and you can see at the top of the screen that notes document. Everybody gets to make their own copy of this notes document. So your individual copy will be, your link to the tools to try, and then make sure you hit that attendance link. And then as you go down through the hot links and the guided notes, we're going to give you the text to use in the prompts that we're going to try today. We're also going to give you the direct link to the resources. And if you feel wild and crazy and you want to add some notes in the box, like for example, if you scroll down a little bit for me, Mike, right underneath syllabus policies, after Mike does a fabulous job of talking that through, if you want to add some notes in that, in that spot, feel free to do that and use this as a notes document and as a hyperlink document. So hopefully everybody is doing a good job of making a copy of those notes, because you're going to need that for our interactive journey together. So I will throw those again in the chat. And if you can get into the notes, you can get into the attendance. Also wanted to introduce the rest of our team who is part of our CTE AI unit. We've got Kimberly Heel, John Jordy, Leota O'Malley, and the five of us round out the team under the direction of Alex Biton Bailey, who is our director for Center for Teaching Excellence. So we are really excited. This is the second part of our 4-part series, and I'm sure it's not going to end at 4. We've already got plans for several other in the series, but really excited that you guys are embracing this Getting Started series. So Mike, I'll turn it back to you.
All right, and just a couple of notes. If this is your first time, if this is a series, but these are freestanding, so I don't want you to feel left behind or anything. We're going to just kind of start fresh today and talk about these tools and how we can use them. So don't feel like if you're jumping in, that you're jumping into the middle of something. We want you to feel comfortable. So let's just go ahead and get started. I wanted to say in a few minutes, we're going to be working with syllabi. So if you are a teacher and you have a syllabus that you want to kind of pull up and have in your back pocket when we get to that point of the presentation, that would be a good thing. If you aren't a teacher, then you'll be able to play around with the AI and do different things. We're going to do different things with it today. And so hopefully what you're going to learn today will be really helpful. So as we've said, this is session 2 in a series. And we're going to specifically talk about how you can use it for writing, research, and critical evaluation. We're going to kind of start off with a poll. And so I'm going to launch a poll just to kind of get a feel for how you are, how you feel about what are your thoughts on student use of AI in your courses. So I'm going to launch this poll and we will get a feel for how you are feeling about students using AI in courses here. So I will, let's see, we've got about 24 people. So let me see how high we can get with our response rate. And then I will release and show you just how everybody's feeling in the room, a good feel for how people are perceiving student use. So we've got a pretty good response rate there. So it looks like we've got a few excited people, a good portion in the middle of not sure, and then we've got some not happy people about it. And so maybe somebody who's not sure, who indicated not sure, would you mind raising your hand and just share to us why you're kind of in the middle and what you're wrestling against when it comes to students' use of AI, why you're a little bit in the middle, not sure, since that was the biggest group there. Would somebody mind raising their hand and sharing that put not sure? And we want this to be interactive. Okay, Maria, I see you raising your hand, your literal hand. So yeah, tell us.
I'm interested in my students using AI, but I guess I'm just not fully comfortable with it yet. And so that's the only reason why I'm not sure. But I know I want to embrace it. I just haven't gotten there yet. So that's why this is my second workshop where I'm hoping to learn a lot more about it.
Okay, great. And so it sounds like you're hoping to learn more, and as you learn more, maybe become more comfortable and know what some of the capabilities are and some of the limitations. Am I hearing you? Okay. All right. Let's do another poll. How are you feeling? What's your comfort level about your own ability to use AI? And so let me launch this one. Do you feel like you're not really singing yet? Do you feel like you're a karaoke singer when it comes to AI? Or do you feel like you are a solid rock star? So let me give you a few minutes to kind of answer that poll. And we're getting a pretty good response rate. I'm happy to be getting 21 of you answering questions. And so this is just a great anonymous way to get a feel for who we're talking to today. So this is helpful for us, and then it'll be helpful for you to see where you're at compared to other people. So we've got a couple of rock stars in here, which is intimidating to me because I don't consider myself a rock star. I feel like I might be a tad bit ahead of some of you in here, but so it'll be great if you feel like you're a rock star and you feel like you are really comfortable, then please feel free to share. And I wanted to just emphasize, please feel free to use our chat. We've got several of us from CTE here that will be monitoring the chat. So throw questions in there, or if you want to raise your virtual hand, it'll pull you to the top so that I can see that you have a question or something that you want to share or clarification that you'd need. So thanks for sharing and getting us off on the right foot there. So got a question here. Is AI the new Google? Will it become our new go-to for information? Just a question to kind of think about. Jen, do you have some thoughts that you would like to share about that? Or were you, go ahead.
It just seems like, you know, the go-to for most people when they're looking for information is, you know, we go to the Google or you go to the search engine to kind of start your inquiry. And it seems like with the transition to an AI way of doing things, is AI going to be the new go-to place for us to access information? So I'm going to throw that out there for you guys to ruminate. And what do you think? Is AI going to take over the Google?
Yeah, and have you made that transition? And you can throw some things in the chat, or if you want to raise your hand and chat about that out loud. But have you made that transition? Are you starting to go more toward ChatGPT or Copilot or one of the AI tools rather than going to Google?
And Emma raises a good point because a lot of our browsers are integrating that AI functionality. Your Bings and your Googles of the world are adding in Gemini and they're adding in Copilot.
That's true. Yes, they are.
Yes, Janie.
Really.
Interesting point, Cinda. Yep, different reasons for different purposes because there's so many tools out there.
Adrian, do you want to talk a little bit about the caution, which I think is a really good point also?
Sure. I just worry a little bit because I know that even if you disable storing what you upload in ChatGPT, I still don't know to what degree I have to be cautious. Like I would love to put some of my own research papers in there and just say, hey, like give me an abstract for this, but I don't know if I can do that or not. So I want to use it, but I'm scared to use it.
Hey, that's a very real concern. Jen, were you going to say something?
You're going to love Jenny. You're going to love Jenny.
And yeah, and Microsoft Copilot is the one that we have adopted at UF. And I want to trust the little thing that shows up at the top whenever I'm signed in. But it does say it does say up here that your information's protected and it is not using information to train Copilot when you are logged in through your UFID. So that's something that might help you feel a little more comfortable. It is supposed to protect.
And that is because Copilot is used within our universe and has got those protections turned on. So that's a really good caution for all of us because when you're using AI, you want to use it in a controlled environment where the university has, kind of some way of controlling things and what goes up and what goes outside of our universe. When we're trying some of these other tools, Adrian, you've got a good point. We should be really cautious about what we load because there are no controls over what goes to the big, wide universe.
That's true. That's true. Okay, let's start talking a little bit about writing, using AI to help with your writing. This just lists a bunch of sample tasks that if you're a faculty member here at the university, or if you're a staff member, there's several things on here that we all do, no matter what our classification is. But just think about how you could use AI tools to help in your writing, no matter which of these things. And we're going to do some work with syllabi today, like I mentioned. We're going to do a little work with case studies and show you how you can use that to maybe help generate some case studies if you're teaching. But you can certainly use it for these other uses. If you need to type a letter, it can give you a draft to kind of start you off with. But as we are going to talk about today, there are some ethical considerations, and Adrian did a good job of kind of bringing these things up. And so we'll kind of talk about these bullet points just for a moment if you want to kind of read through them. Jen, what do you want to say about AI generators not passing a course?
Well, what we have to remember, folks, is that your caution about students using artificial intelligence is warranted, but just remember them using AI is not going to get them to pass your course. And we'll talk a little bit later about the 80-20 rule and the fact that even if you go out and search the web or use AI, you're going to gather all this information to get 80% of your content, but it's going to be that remaining 20% with your brain that's going to get you over the hump, get you to the final product, get you to the submission stage. So we're going to talk a lot more about 80-20. And remember, the AI generator is not going to pass your class. They might use it as a tool, but it's not going to pass your class.
Okay, and yes, there are errors in AI, and we want to make sure that we're telling our students and that we are good consumers of the information that we get from AI. And so you've got to double check everything and make sure that accuracy is an important part of what you're putting out. Contributions should be attributed and they should be accurate, like I just mentioned. So make sure that if you use it to write your syllabus, that you attribute it and that you're modeling good practices with AI for your students. So if you use it for your syllabi or you use it to create assignments and stuff, it's important to attribute where you got that information from. And so make sure that it's documented, make sure that you're open with your students if you're using AI and if they can use AI. I think these things apply to both us and students that are on here. And just remember that AI detectors, although there are some out there, have not been proven to be reliable. So if you are trying to catch students using AI and you're using some of those detectors, just be cautious that they're not 100% reliable and that you're on shaky ground to accuse students of using AI if you're using those detectors, because they haven't been proven to be 100% reliable in their predictions. They are making predictions, and so just be aware of that. Let's talk about some of the tools that you can use for writing. Many of you may be familiar with these. ChatGPT tends to be one of the most popular, and so this is what that platform looks like. And like I said, many of you are aware of ChatGPT. It tends to be the one that is most used and most talked about. And so being able to, you just put in information down here in the bar. I have something that I put in that I'm going to do later, but this is where you type your prompt, and we're going to talk about prompts in a moment. But you type this and then hit this little button and it sends it, and then ChatGPT starts creating content. This is what Copilot looks like. And you can see that it has a similar little place down here for you to ask questions. And this is where you would put your question or your prompt for it to start doing its work. Notice that it has this little conversation style bar here, which is a unique feature for Copilot. Do you want it to be more creative in its answer? Do you want it to be more balanced? Do you want it to be very precise? And so it kind of gives you a toggle to say, yeah, be really creative with this. And oh no, I want you to pull it back and I want to be a little more balanced, or be very precise and try to be very accurate about the information that you're giving me. A couple of other tools that you might have heard of. This is Gemini. This is Google's AI tool. Again, here's a place for prompt. Here are some of the things that it suggests that you could use, or it gives you some little questions that you might ask it. It does give you the ability to upload images. That's a feature here that's not in some of the other ones. And so you can actually upload images. And then last one that we wanted to show you is called Claude. And this one I think is interesting. It allows you to like upload a PDF document and say, can you summarize this information in this PDF? And like if you're running late and didn't have time to read something that you were supposed to read, you could upload it and say, give me the gist or the 5 bullet points to, go to my meeting with. It allows you to upload those and summarize a PDF document for you, which could be really helpful in a lot of different cases. So those are a few of the tools. Jen, did you want to add anything about any one of these? And I'll click on it. And
You'll just notice that it's kind of like a Google search. You're going to just pound it out in the search box and it's going to give you some answers. It's just the way we're going to do business here in AI land.
Maria, are you asking if Claude can
Yes,
also
Maria.
generate? Yeah, it can do all the things the other ones do. This is just a unique.
Oh, sorry. I meant to specify, can it do more with that PDF? Suppose like you upload a PDF and then it like kind of like reads it and then you ask it to like come up with something new based on it. Or
Oh yeah, I think you can. I think it could add. You're saying take this PDF and then, add, more detail about something.
yeah, I don't know. Do other things.
I'd like to play with it and see if I could use like the features that Cami has where you can highlight and do some of those things. So maybe during the playtime we can try that.
Yeah, that's a really good question.
That is a great question.
All right. So those are some of the tools. I'm going to be using Copilot and ChatGPT to demonstrate some writing things. So those are the two I'm going to. If you want to go ahead and log into one of those two, and yeah, people do start to develop a preference for which one that they're using. I'm seeing in the chat.
And Mike, would you take just a quick second and go to our note-taking document? For
Yes.
those that might have joined late, we want to just kind of share with them the nature of how we're going to kind of roll through the class today. Guys, you are making a copy of this guided notes document. It's got links to the tools that we're going to experiment with. It's got a link to our attendance link, and that's pretty important to us. Also, as Mike and I guide you through, we're going to have you experiment with some of the prompts. So we've given you sample prompts here that you can just copy and paste into the tool of choice. If you don't like the prompt and you want to try something else, feel free to go rogue. But these are just for us to experiment with because that's the nature of the beast today and getting started.
Yeah, and the attendance link is here, right there. So you can copy and paste that into your browser and make sure that you sign in. Okay, how are AI prompts like Google search terms is a question. You have done a lot of Google searches, and I also thought when I was looking at this question, I was thinking it's also when you're searching for memes, there are some really good people in our office who find the perfect memes. And I'm like, I wish I knew their search terms because we'll be in a Teams chat and we'll be talking about something and then somebody has just like the perfect meme. And I'll try to use terms and search and I'll come up with just, the ones that everybody else would. But there are some people that are just really good at search terms and so same thing with Google. Sometimes I'll type something in and I was like, that's not what I really wanted. It's giving me stuff that I don't want. And so we want to make sure that you understand that your AI prompt, the quality of what goes into the AI is the quality of the result that you're going to get. Let's see.
I'll just
Yeah.
throw it out there. Has anybody real familiar or comfortable with Boolean searching in a Google prompt? The and, or, not. We're going to make you Boolean wizards of AI today. So if you're a wizard of prompting in Google, you're gonna feel much more confident about how you're using those prompts in an AI tool.
Okay. So let's talk a minute about the art of the prompt, and these little bullet points you can read, but being specific and descriptive as possible when you're writing a prompt. And your prompts can be as long as you want. They don't have to be short and quick. Like when I do a Google search, I'm usually try to be pretty brief. The more information you feed into the AI tool, the more robust your response will be and the more in line with what you want it to be. So we're going to show you some examples, but including things like if you take a moment and just say who, what, where, when, why, how, the more information you can give the AI tool, the better the results are going to be. So building a prompt, here's some things to consider. You can tell the AI tool to be like a princess, or that was I can't get princess out of my head because that was the example that Jen gave it to me. But if you need a princess voice, your AI tool will talk to you like a princess. If you want it to sound like a college professor, you can say, I want this to sound like it comes from a college professor. So specify the role. Be specific about what you need it to do for you, and then tell it, be very specific about the task. I want 1 paragraph. I want 3 sentences. I want 500 words on this. So being very specific about what you need and what the task is important. In the process, so if there's things that you want it to consider while it is writing, you can certainly ask it to be specific about what kind of voice to use and what kind of language. Does it need to be conversational or does it need to be more formal? You tell it things to avoid, and Jen had please here because she's nice to her AI bots, and I was like, I don't know if we need to be nice to them. You don't have to say please. She is very pleasant to her AI bots, but I just put like avoid, fill in the blank. So if you want it to not do something, tell it. Input the final result in a select format, paragraph or essay form. And then you can also provide examples and say, here's a good example. This is kind of an example of what I'm looking for. Jen, what would you add that I missed?
No, I think you did a
Besides,
great
please.
job. Yeah. No, well, maybe my responses from my chat are nicer than yours are because I'm nice to it.
I bet, I bet they are. So yeah. And
Are there
so
any chance they're vindictive? Because I told mine yesterday that it failed miserably.
oh yeah. Mine tends to reply very nicely when I say, that wasn't what I was looking for. You know, can you tone it down a little? And mine will say, yes, of course. I'm sorry I didn't, you know, it seems to, but then yeah, I don't know what it's doing to my system inside my computer when I'm
Train
not.
it like a puppy. Train it like a
Yeah.
puppy.
Okay, so we have in our document here a link to, I'll drop this in the chat, but this is a kind of a worksheet that you can use to create your own prompt. And so Jen created this, and it's got like places for you to write the who, the what, the where, the when, the why, the how. And if you don't answer all of those, if the when doesn't make sense for what you're doing, but it's just an opportunity for you to reflect on all the elements that you're asking your AI tool to do for you. Any other important details? And then she put a little space down here. Based on this information, now I want you to generate a prompt. So it's very helpful when you're thinking through and you have a specific project, just to take a moment, and whether you use this worksheet or you just sit down and try to think of all the components that you want to go into the writing that comes out of your AI. It's just a good practice to sit down, and this worksheet can help prompt some questions that maybe you hadn't considered. So we wanted to provide that, and we're going to use it here in just a moment. Jen, talk a little bit about this slide and why it's important to be very specific about things.
So one of the examples that I saw in the chat here was that you gave it information and it came back with a kind of a false positive or false information. A lot of times it's because our prompt isn't descriptive enough. And this is a great example of us when we were at VetMed a couple of weeks ago. We tried having it describe the optimal treatment for a severely, what is it? I can't even read. Emaciated dog caused by a rattlesnake bite or diamond rattlesnake bite. And what would you do for that? And we're asking it to describe treatment. Well, the issue was, it came back with a response, including rattlesnake vaccine, which for those in vet med know that the rattlesnake vaccine is just a marketing ploy. It's not a scientifically proven way to treat a rattlesnake bite in a dog. And so when we recrafted our prompt and said, using only scientifically proven methods, the rattlesnake vaccine was reduced from the results. So I will say that it does come back. It circles back to our good prompts and the prompt creation. You get what you put in, kind of like what we put into Google. So just that kind of great example, hopefully feeds your thoughts.
All right. I'm going to skip this question and just talk a little bit about AI policies. So generating an AI policy for your course, for your students to be aware of, and how you want them to use AI or not use AI in your course. Here are some things that you could consider if you're considering putting an AI policy on your syllabus for students to have. I think it's important that you're really clear about, this is how you can use it in my course. This is how you shouldn't use it in my course. And so we're going to do a little activity where you're going to have the opportunity to use one of the AI tools to help generate an AI policy for your course. So I actually took Jen's worksheet and I went through my background's in psychology, and so I've taught introductory psychology courses. And so I kind of went through this and said, this is my audience. It's college students in a general psychology course. I want an AI policy that gives them permission to use it on some assignments as long as they cite it. This is going to be included in my syllabus. Students are permitted to use it on these assignments. They're not permitted to use it on these assignments. Here's the why. I want to make sure that students are really clear, get an understanding of the boundaries of how they can use it in my course. I want it written in second person to sound approachable. I don't want it to sound really formal. And then here are a couple of other things that I've asked it to do. So based on that information, I generated this prompt that I'm going to copy, and I'm going to go to Copilot, and I'm going to just paste that into Copilot. And you can see that it's kind of long, but that's okay because I want to give it as much detail, and then I'm going to hit submit, and then I'm going to watch it do its magic. So notice that it's using second person voice, like I said, like I asked it to, and then it's going to give me some output based on that information, and then I can take this and I can use it in my course, or I can play around with it. And so there are some things that, like I said, checking for accuracy. This is not an accurate APA style of how to cite AI use. And so I would want to make sure that I could go back and edit the things that are not accurate. So look through that and then make sure that it has said all the things that you wanted it to say. So we're going to give you a few minutes to play around using that tool to create an AI policy for your class. And so this is the time, we call it just work time, for you to take a moment and to work on an AI policy for your class. So think about the who, what, where, why, and how, and write a prompt, and then put it into one of the tools and see what comes out. If you want, here's my sample on our little working document here. Here's my sample. If you want to copy that and reword it, or if you want to use the worksheet, you have access to that and you can get in there and use that. But we're going to just be quiet and give you some work time to generate a response to an AI policy that you could use on a syllabus for your class. So please feel free just to take this quiet time to do that.
Michael, I do have a question about Copilot.
Yes.
For UF. I've been using it quite a lot lately. I noticed it only accepts 2,000 characters.
Right.
Yours accepts 4,000.
Oh,
The difference.
okay. It might be, now I'm not signed in and I'm about to, but I wonder if it's something set by the University of Florida. No, it says 4,000. I don't,
Yeah, I logged in through UFIT actually,
oh, okay.
to Copilot, and I just get a 2,000 character limit, which is challenging when your prompt being specific and complete takes up half the character limit, and then you can't enter all of the, say, the information that it needs to create whatever you asked it to create.
Right. Yeah, that is a limitation for sure. And yeah, so okay, there were a lot of people that were having access issues with this document, and so whoops. I think this is the copy. Jen, can you oh, okay. When you selected a different conversation style, the number change, the word limit change, that might.
Okay, I followed her lead and changed, when I clicked on balanced as the conversation style, you get the 2,000 character limit. When you click on precise, you get the 4,000 character.
Okay, okay. That makes sense. All right. Have you all been able to get access? Was it this document that you were wanting the access to? And I think we solved that little issue there.
Yes, hopefully that works.
And during your work time, if you have questions or you want to share something, or you've heard, or it did something you weren't expecting it to do, we can certainly talk about that. All right. For sake of time, let's see. I hope you were able to play with that. Does anybody have anything they'd like to share from that experience of trying to write an AI course policy? And just on our document, I wanted to show you there is a website, Syllabus Policies for AI Generative Tools. And this is just a repository of a bunch of different AI policies from people's syllabi that they have submitted. And you can go through this. Some of them are very strict and say you cannot use it. Some of them say there's partial use. Some of them are say we're embracing it, and I'm assuming you're going to use it for everything. And so you might want to check that out. It is this syllabi policies on AI link here on our documents page. So you can look at that at your own time. Did anybody have anything they'd like to share from creating the AI course policy and putting a prompt in? I'm going to give you the 10-second wait time. Okay. All right. Well, hopefully that was a meaningful task there. You can upload content. So in addition to just starting from scratch like we did with that worksheet, I found that my syllabus had a certain tone to it. It sounded very contractual. It sounded like a legal document. And I wanted to warm up my syllabus. So one thing that you might want to do is take parts of your syllabus and upload it. You can upload it into ChatGPT or Copilot and say, can you warm this paragraph up and make it sound more conversational and less contractual? And then paste the information into the little section there, and then have it warm it up. And so that's not something that we'll do in class today, but just something. The Gen Z students tend to value authenticity. They tend to react against an institutional tone. So is there a way to make your syllabus a little more warm and warm it up? That's something that ChatGPT could certainly help you with. Last thing that I want to talk to you about real quick is using the AI prompt cookbook. And so that link is here on our document, the AI prompt cookbook here, this Google Doc. CITT here at UF created a cookbook with some prompts that you can use and copy and paste. They talk a little bit about prompt design at the beginning, but then if you are designing a course or if you're designing activities, then this gives you some little ways, some prompts that you can copy and paste. If you're wanting to develop a icebreaker activity, then they've gone through the work and kind of created these prompts that you can tweak for your own purposes. But yeah, if you're wanting instructional aids for students to practice, you can kind of flip through this cookbook. So it's a really great resource. And one of the things that I thought would be interesting for us to try is to have it create some case studies. So this was the prompt directly from the prompt cookbook, write an authentic case study about, and you tell it, fill in those little brackets that allows readers to analyze how. And so I did this for my psychology course. In general psychology, we talk about psychological disorders. And so I might want to have like a case study that we could do in class together, and then a case study that I want to include in homework, and then maybe a case study that I could use on an exam. So I used the prompt, write 3 authentic case studies about schizophrenia that allows readers to analyze the symptoms and determine the diagnosis. So if I hit send on that, then you're going to see that it's going to go through and give me some case studies that then I can copy and paste into a lecture. I can copy and paste into an exam. And so maybe I don't want it to, tell the diagnosis. I don't have to put that on there, but then here's the case study that I could copy and say, here were the symptoms. And maybe I want those written in a paragraph form. Write those in a paragraph form without a numbered list. So you can give it instructions like that, and then it'll say, okay, here they are in a paragraph form without those lists that I can then copy and paste. So use that to your advantage. And if you want to take a moment and use one of your resources, we do have some of the prompts, example prompts right here that you could copy and paste, and see if you could generate some useful case studies that you could use in your course that that have to do with your specific topic. So we'll give you 3 or 4 minutes to do that, and then I'm passing the baton over to Jen to talk a little bit more about how to use it in research, how to use these tools for research. I would love for somebody to drop a case study that you came up with in the chat, just so that we can see it. How can you upload a long article and get it to summarize given the limit on the prompt? So you might want to use Claude if you're wanting the AI to summarize a longer article, because here you can upload like a PDF or a document that will allow you to do that kind of work. So you might want to consider using one of those other tools, and maybe not ChatGPT that has a limitation with numbers. I mean, with, numbers of words that you can put in there. And Claude is also safe, question mark. That's a big question mark. It is not one of the, UF Copilot is
Approved.
one, approved one. So I don't know. I would be leery and say on the side of caution that if you upload something into that, assume that it's going to become part of the training.
Okay.
Some of them have options where you can kind of turn off and say, I don't want to use this information for training. I think ChatGPT does have that kind of feature. So some of them have that feature. Okay, Jen.
Alrighty. Well, we are going to shift gears here into a little bit more about, we're gonna move beyond the ones that are just kind of basic search AI tools, and we're gonna scale it up a little bit. We're gonna look at some tools that do some specific things around research and inquiry. The 4 tools that I've chosen for you today, and guys, realize that AI tools are like Web 2.0 tools. Everybody's doing it the AI way now, whereas it used to be the Web 2.0 way on the web. Now we're doing it the AI way. So the 4 that I've chosen for you today are Consensus, Perplexity, Jenny, and Quillbot. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the tools. I'm going to show you a couple of the things that I've noticed about using them in my own professional practice that I like. And then I'm going to give you about 10 or so minutes to pick one to play with, or you can play with all of them, but I want you to see where they're at. And just a reminder, when we come into these notes documents, the ones I'm going to talk about are Perplexity, Quillbot, Jenny, and Consensus. And if you scroll down here, you'll see I'm going to share with you the prompts that I used. You can just copy and paste this into Perplexity. You can pick one of these to copy and paste it into Consensus or Jenny. And you can copy this into Quillbot, but I'm going to show you what it looks like. Okay. So the first thing I want you to think about is I mentioned earlier the 80-20 rule. And if we're going to be using artificial intelligence with our students, we want to have an open mind about the fact that this is a powerful way to do research and inquiry. But you get what you pay for, and you get what you put into it. It's kind of like throwing things into a Google search or throwing things into, any kind of search. You're going to gather all this information, and then you're going to have to use your noggin to put it together in that final package for submission. So I embrace this 80-20 rule that's very popular out there in artificial intelligence land, which says make sure you've got a balance between what you gather on the web or with AI and what you put into it in your creative juices. So that is the 80-20 rule. So that being said, one of my favorite tools is Perplexity. Now, Perplexity is kind of like ChatGPT and the other AI tools, but what I really like about Perplexity is that it will allow you to paraphrase and cite sources. It was one of the very first players that came on the scene that had the sources where it gathered the information on the web. And so when I go out to Perplexity, let's see if I can find it. My Perplexity tool is actually going to have, I'm writing a report about the study of meteorology. Give me a list of key facts and statistics that I should include in the report. You'll notice that over here on the left, it just kind of looks a little bit like ChatGPT. I put in my prompt, but what's beautiful about it is I can also search images, videos, and generate an image with Perplexity. And also down at the bottom of the feed, I can view the sources and I can take a look at a report. And so that is one of the benefits of using Perplexity, as when you get in there and try it, that'll be Perplexity. You want to give those things a once over. Consensus is another example of a great tool to do some research, because this digs a little bit deeper. The Consensus tool will do research, citations, filters, analysis, and excerpts. So if I come into Consensus and I enter, find me 5 papers about visceral fat and the connection to cancer published after 2000 and beyond, it will actually give me, it's kind of like a bib list, but it'll also do like a systematic review. It'll, if I change it to rigorous journal, it'll scale it up. It'll also tell me if it's highly cited. And obviously when we're doing research publishing, we want to just use the sources that are highly cited. I can also grab the citation and use that study snapshot to kind of scale it up. So that is the Consensus tool, AI tool that I really like. And I've given you some examples of prompts that you can just copy in. This Find Me 5 Papers was the one that I tried, and hopefully you guys will have some fun trying that one. Now, Jenny is one that I had mentioned previously that I think is really going to scale up the things that we do when we're writing research. I've used the same prompts with the Jenny tool. However, Jenny allows me to write, cite, and edit. It gives me an outline. It gives me in-text citations. And it also lets me upload into a research library. So if I go into my Jenny, let's see if I can find my Jenny. I've been working, there's my Perplexity. There's my, let's go into my Jenny. So I've been doing a little work with the critical evaluation of artificial intelligence, and I'm trying to gather some research articles about this. So when I come into Jenny, I've given it a search criteria. I've already told it that I want to do some critical evaluation of artificial intelligence. So what you're seeing on the screen is me having a couple different iterations of my original research idea. When I put it in here, it will generate outlines. It'll give me some different areas to go into. Notice it breaks it down to some areas that I could actually go off on a tangent with to kind of write. But also up here in the library, I was able to upload some of the research that I had pulled down from the library databases regarding my topic. And now it is pulling into Jenny, into my outline, some of the synthesis of these articles that I have uploaded. So I really like Jenny. I've been playing with it. I'm not going to tell you I'm 100% sold on it, but I am going to say that I'm kind of impressed that I can pull that stuff in. And I am using my UF account to create that Jenny experience. All right. Quillbot is the last tool here in this section that I'm going to give you some playtime with. Quillbot is really quite spectacular because when you enter information into Quillbot, it'll paraphrase, it'll translate, it'll give you citations. It'll do what Grammarly will do with the grammar checks. And it's got so many different options. It's almost kind of like a hyper AI tool. When I come into Quillbot, I've got all these tools on the left-hand side, from a translator to a citation generator to a plagiarism checker, to a grammar checker, and to a flow. But across the top here is this translator feature. So I'm going to, walk on the wild side. I've got some students here in my classroom that are from Germany. I'm going to see what my paper might look like in the German language. And let's see if it will take it into German. And let's try Spanish. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you. Well, I'll show you what it looks like. It looks like this in the interest of time. So you're going to put in I think it's because I already put in the generation. So you're going to insert your generation. You're going to have it rephrased, but you're going to click on Spanish and it's going to generate your content in the translate. So hopefully you guys will be able to try that on your own. That's Quillbot. I would caution you over here on the left-hand side with the plagiarism checker. Just make sure that you keep an open mind on that, because AI generation is like snowflakes. No two are alike. So you probably are just need to be leery of those AI checkers. All right. The other piece that I wanted to mention about Quillbot is that you can generate citations. You can put in just a link to an article. What I did here is I grabbed a copy of a link from the library database. I threw it in here and it generated the link, generated the citation for me. I know that we're using different types of citations. For example, APA 7th edition, or you might still be using MLA or Chicago style or whatever is your citation maker of choice. But this gives you some options to do that. And again, I am still in Quillbot. So I'm going to pause here for a second, and I'm going to take us back up to here. I'm just going to say, I'm going to give you about 10 minutes in your getting started document. And I want you to try some of the prompts in Consensus, Perplexity, Jenny, and Quillbot. And what I'd like you to do is when you come back, I'd like you to share one that you tried and maybe a key takeaway about it, what you liked about it, and maybe what you didn't like about it. So again, you're going to pick one of these four. You're going to go into your notes document. You can use the prompts we've given you, or you can try one of your own. And when you come back, we're going to ask you to report out. What questions might you have about the 10 minutes that you have? All right, we'll give you about 10 minutes. want to share? Looking for a couple more folks to jump in and share what they tried. Helena, what did you try?
I tried a few of them, and I used your autism prompts for Jenny, but then I used it for the others. Jenny gave me a pretty good introduction paragraph to the prompt. And then I think I had to ask it for in-text citation specifically, and then it would add it. So that was interesting and good to know how to do that. And then consensus, I used kind of the same prompt, and then it would get synopsis of some various different studies. Perplexity gave something similar, but Perplexity would offer citations for websites, not necessarily studies or articles. So that was the big difference I noticed of those three.
You just called out a really important point, the difference between Perplexity and Jenny and the research component. Jenny is more focused on peer-reviewed research and specific research, good investigations and case studies, whereas Perplexity will go out and scale the web. And so it'll also, Perplexity will tell you where it came from, but I would definitely probably jump into Jenny first. I'm really kind of impressed with that. Anybody?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. I love that you tried the same prompt on multiple tools. Terrific idea. Did anybody jump into Quillbot and try to make that translator work? All right. Well, we will keep moving. I'm really excited. Hopefully you guys found value in having a few minutes to take a look at, some of the tools that we're sharing today. We want to transition now into a little bit of a deeper dive into, now that you've used the tools and you're generating content with the tools, what do you need to do to kind of be open and honest and just open about the fact that you're using AI to generate it. And we really think that we were really excited to see this example. And I know Leota, our teammate, is in the house. This example of this blog and disclaimer was something that Leota found, and it's here on the UF website. But when you scroll down to the bottom, this blog post was created all the way down to the bottom here. You'll notice that there is a declaration of generative AI and AI-assisted technologies in the writing process. What a great example of how you call it out and just say, hey, I did use the tools that are at my fingertips. I don't think in the past we ever admitted we use Google, but here we admit that we're using AI, and I think it's a terrific idea. So this is a good example. It is linked in your notes, and we thought we would share that with you. What are your thoughts on ways that we could declare our use? Anybody want to weigh in on your thinking about declaring the fact that you've used generative AI? Anybody got any thinking about that? Boy, that 10 seconds gets really long, doesn't it, Mike? All right, well, we'll keep on moving. You guys have a great example for you, and we'll just keep moving. All right. As we shift into this final part of the presentation today, we're going to be thinking about the fact that as we've evolved and we tried these tools, we're getting varying degrees of information that's useful, credible, reliable, valid. We have discovered that it truly does depend a lot on us creating good prompts. And so we know that we've got to be really specific in what we ask, as well as the functionality of those tools. So I would throw out to you, are AI generated results like Wikipedia? Do I need to critically evaluate everything that I get from ChatGPT or everything that I get? What do you guys think? I guess I'm going to throw it for a vote in the chat. Do you think you need to critically evaluate everything that you get on generative AI? Give me either a thumbs up or a thumbs down or a yes, no in the chat. And Mike, I'm going to ask you to track those numbers for me. Do we need to critically evaluate everything we find on using generative AI?
Looks like all yeses.
All yeses. Well,
Surprise.
surprise, surprise, surprise. Yeah, the answer is yes. It is the wild, wild west of AI, and we do need to critically evaluate. And so one of the ways that we have been talking about here in CTE is we've developed a way to kind of create this culminating assignment where we walk students through or our participants through the research process, engaging them in using both online resources as well as AI resources, and telling us about their journey in what we call an iSearch paper. And so in your Getting Started with AI notes, you've got some links to this section here on the iSearch. You've got the research process, you've got a sample iSearch paper, and you've got a sample iSearch template. And so the first one is the iSearch paper. I'm going to turn it over to Mike to kind of talk through what is an iSearch paper, Mike?
So this is the template that you could use to explain to your students what an iSearch paper is. Instead of a normal research paper that you assign, where students just do the research kind of behind the scenes in the background and then just write a paper that reports what they found, this kind of documents and walks them through the process of showing you how they thought about and came to the conclusions that they did and how they did the research. So the part one is my question, where they kind of refine your question and tailor it to their individual needs and interests. The My Search process is where they walk through and tell you, I used AI to help me generate some questions. I used AI to help me find some sources, and they document what sources they used and what how they made sure those sources were credible. What I learned is the section where that's typical to research paper, where they report their findings. And then section number 4 is where they kind of report on the growth that they've experienced as from doing this research paper. So in addition to just reporting the results, they kind of go behind the scenes and tell you how they came to those conclusions and what sources they used and how they vetted those sources. So.
Oops.
And then this is an example of a paper. So the template is what she just showed you. And then this gives you an example of what that might look like. And you can see the different sections, what I already knew, what I wanted to learn, how I documented my search. And here were the sources I went to. And then here's my results. This is what I found. And then lastly, how I grew and what I learned from this experience. So
that's a little bit about the iSearch paper. And so what we're trying to get you to be thinking about is acknowledging the fact that students are using it. But when you create an authentic experience like this, where they tell you about it, they can't really generate this with an AI prompt. To tell their story is their story to tell. And so there'll have to be some authentic writing that happens beyond the use of AI when you use something like an iSearch paper. In this culminating event, what we're suggesting is you could share with your students the iSearch process. You're going to write me a paper about your journey. We're going to also share with them some resources to critically evaluate what they find on the web. And this goes back to, 20 years of information literacy. You've found all kinds of crazy things on the web that you have to critically evaluate, like the Northwest Pacific tree octopus or the red-headed bearded women, all those fun stories that we use to teach information literacy. So there are frameworks out here for students to use to evaluate what they find. But there really wasn't anything to evaluate the AI stuff. And so we've got a new framework that we're using, and we put these all together in a final iSearch paper. And so this is the example of a culminating event that would bring in that 80-20 and help them know that we're okay with you searching the web, we're okay with you using AI, but just tell us about it. So kind of to lay the foundation out there on the web, for many, many years, librarians or, media specialists taught students about how to critically evaluate what they found online. And there was a lot of different frameworks that were out there, and they looked at things like, validity and reliability and what was the bias of the message, or what was the intended purpose. And so these foundational pieces were out there to help us synthesize what we find on the web, to kind of evaluate if it's right or not, or if it's useful for our purpose or not. However, with AI generated content, you're going above and beyond that. You're looking at format, is it the right length? Is it laid out in bullets or paragraphs? Is it in a conversational tone, or is it repetitive? Is it credible and reliable? Are they making a consistent message? Or are they putting in a bunch of jargon or a bunch of little quips? So we're looking for some specific indicators that build on what we've always looked for in critical evaluation of what's online. We're going to scale it up to AI. This is the fluff test. It's got a tick list of indicators that you can use with students or with your own work. What you're trying to get to is looking at format, language, usability, and fanfare, and some specific indicators for that. And you're trying to get to zero fluff. You don't want any infractions. By the time you've regenerated it several times, you want to get to zero fluff, so you can take it with all that 80% of the content that you've gathered and now put your 20% spin on it with that human element. So you go out, you choose your topic, you create your prompt, you include the who, what, when, where, why, and how, and you generate some results. And the recommendation is, when you apply the fluff test, is, of course, you're going to get the initial results in your first iteration. If you want to use this document with students, you can ask them to copy and paste their results there as evidence to be used later with their iSearch process. In the second iteration, here in this second section, you've asked them to regenerate it in some way, change the length, change this, change that, come up with a second iteration, and then ask them to copy and paste it in to share with you where they went on that journey. The final iteration would be where you'd say, all right, where's the 20%? What's your spin on it? So you're going to take what they came up with their generative AI, they're going to copy it in, and they're going to put their human spin on it. And that will be iteration 3. And that lands in their iSearch document. So that's kind of a 30,000 foot view of the fluff test and the process with the iSearch. And I guess I will pause here for a second and see if we have any questions on that. What do you think of the fluff or the iSearch process, or how you might have students use that 80-20 to come to a culminating product that they submit to you about a topic?
So I'm curious whether the fluff test is something, I guess the students, you'd give them this like fluff test rubric to use?
You could give them the fluff test. Yep. And let them, you can either just give them the basic rubric here, the indicators, or you could give them the checklist itself and say, move through. And it's actually a, kind of a 3-part process. They learn about the indicators and what they're looking for. They know they're going for zero fluff. You have them create that prompt, and then you say, all right, run it through the 3 iterations and give me the final. And then you give them the iSearch at the end. It's kind of like in a nutshell. You could use it obviously in different, you could just pull up the fluff if you want to. But there's lots of different ways to critically evaluate that AI content. This is just an example of walking through a process.
So it sounds like it's a first sort of step in the process. It's really just to make a process of validating the information that they're getting,
Yes.
right? It's not necessarily about the content of the paper.
Right.
Okay.
Thanks for that clarification, Helen. Yep. Other questions? All right, well, we present that for your thinking. Now we're going to try a tool that has come on the market that does a couple of those things that we've found fault in with our AI generated content. That's how the fluff test became, because you got this big wide world of stuff and it's not getting to the point of zero fluff. There's a new tool out there called Grok, and I'm going to give you a warning, Will Robinson. Grok is a Meta company. So the Twitter, X, the Meta, Facebook have something to do with Grok. But I will tell you that it's got some of the features that we've been looking for with zero fluff. So what Grok does is Grok is similar to a ChatGPT tool, like any of these tools. I'm going to go to Grok and I'm going to tell it to create a 750-word essay about homelessness. When I do that, when I generate, that was the prompt that I generated it. What Grok is selling itself for is the fact that it's so darn fast. So this generated the response in 15 seconds, 15.14 seconds. The other thing I was really intrigued about Grok with is this new modify feature. I mean, I can copy the content. If you have tried some of the other resources, copying and pasting can be a little awkward. This one is really suggesting that you do, but here's where the money is, guys. The modify piece, you can change the format to bullets. You can expand it. You can put it in a table format. You can change it down to 3 words or 3 sentences, or just like Copilot, you can change the audience tone. I want this more educational. I want it more professional. I want it more neutral. So once I've generated the content, you'll get that modify. And I am really impressed with those features, because that really gets you, helps you get to the target of, the zero fluff. So I'm a big advocate of Grok. I know it's out there, still hasn't been proven. It's still in beta, but Grok is something you might want to investigate in your AI journeys. So with that, I'll just share that I've given you a couple screenshots, a reminder that modify and those elements are some of the great pieces of Grok. All right, we have just a couple of minutes left. Mike, I'm wondering if we have time to Grok it for a second, or if we need to continue on.
Yeah, we've got about 6 minutes left, so I don't know how much more you have there, or
Well,
is that?
I think this is pretty much the end of the journey is our Grok test, and then we will bring you back to the additional resources and your getting started template. So I think we'll spend just a second here trying Grok, and I'm going to give you about 3 minutes to get into Grok and give it a try. And remember, you can go into your note-taking document. You can come down here into the Grok example. I think I put the Grok example in there. You can grab any of these and just throw it in and give Grok a try. All right, I'll give you about 3 minutes. And I will pause the recording. I know I cut you guys a little bit short, but hopefully you had a chance to at least set up an account and kind of find it on the web and think about some ways you can use Grok to, kind of get to that zero fluff factor, which is what we are really trying to get to, and something that's useful when you generate AI content. So Mike and I want to say thank you guys for being on today. You can always go back to that Getting Started with AI notes document that you made a copy of at the beginning. You are welcome to reach back to Mike or myself with any comments, questions, or concerns. Or if you saw something today that you think might be helpful or useful for your department, please reach out for a consultation or for us to maybe possibly do some kind of training or additional conversations with you and your key stakeholders. We would love to do that. We are excited about what's happening in AI and we are happy to share it. Just to note that next in the series coming up, we've got images and presentations coming up. Presentations and visual imagery is our session 3 that is coming up in a couple of weeks. And then session 4 is all about assessments. And I do want to tell you that we've got a couple more in the hopper that we are thinking about doing for the Getting Started series. And if you guys have suggestions or requests for sessions that we might do around AI, please get them to our CTE AI unit team, and we would be happy to try and put something together to make it part of the workshop series. We appreciate you guys being here today and giving us part of your lunch hour. We will go ahead and hang out for a few minutes, but otherwise go ahead and have a great day. Thanks everybody for being here.
Cynthia's asking about the dates for the next 2 sessions. And so let me pull that up here. Unless Jen just knows them off the top of her head. Let's
I
see.
believe they are on our Teach UFL website.
Yeah, so we've got one on
And they're
March
under our
22nd. That's about presentations and visual imagery, and it will be at the same time. And then the next one will be April 12th. So March 22nd and April 12th, and you can register on our site where Jen is there, and you just go
Yes,
to the
it's
month.
in the event list.
Yeah, and if you click, you're in February. If you'll click to March, you can the little, yeah, there you go.
Here we go.
You should be able to see it. Is that not moving for you?
Nope. I think it's a Google Chrome fun thing. But anyway,
Okay.
it's out there, I swear.
Okay. All right, Adrian, you had a question you said about the template that you wanted to